In this video, I'm going to take y'all through the steps that I take on these little carburetors, whether it's a Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Yamaha, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, two-stroke, four-stroke. The mechanics of these carburetors are virtually the same. They're all going to have jets. They're all going to have needles. They're all going to have floats. They're all going to have these little passages, even the emulsion tubes that people overlook. I'm just going to take y'all through the steps that I take, things I look at in this video. Okay, this isn't how I wanted to start this video. It's already cleaned. I took it back off the bike because I noticed when I was going through the footage, I realized that the first half of me taking this apart for the first time, it's because it's been on the bike for 30 years. I lost all the audio. So instead of doing a voiceover, I'm going to do bits and pieces of clips showing the before and after. But I just wanted to show you that all these little engines, the carburetors are virtually the same. There's differences, but they're all going to have needles. They're all going to have jets. They're all going to have floats. They're going to have, idle, air fuel mixture, fuel in, vents, all that stuff. Like I said, this one is off a, this is off a Yamaha Kodiak 400. This is a cheap Chinese knockoff that I bought for parts, but it's still got your jets. It's got your float. It's got your needle. It's got vents. It's got the choke. It's got everything. And also with this one over here, this is off of a Yamaha. No, not Yamaha. This is off a Kawasaki side-mounted carburetor. And same thing. Jets, float, needle, choke. You got your vents. These are your vents right. This is your vent right here. Sometimes they'll have two. Sometimes they'll have one. But everything is pretty much the same. But I really just want to go over this carburetor. And the main thing that I notice when people go through carburetors is they don't ever check the emulsion tube, and this is a very crucial part in making sure the bike runs. It may idle just fine, but it won't rev up, or it may not idle at all and it will rev up. So you want to make sure all these little holes are clear, and you want to take it all the way apart. Same with this pilot jet. It's got little holes too. You want to make sure all those are clean. And you want to make sure where your needle sits is actually clean as well. This actually has a new needle. And these are crucial too. This goes to your choke. This goes to the air and everything else like that. So you want to make sure all that's clean. And the vent is what everybody overlooks as well. You want to make sure this is venting properly. Some have little brass, little tabs on the side. They have little vents, little holes in them. You want to make sure these are good, because if not, if it's clogged up, you might have issues with your the bowl filling, because it's creating a pressure and it needs to vent somewhere because the gas is evaporating, so it needs to go somewhere, and that's what your vent's for. And also you want to make sure your overflow tube is good as well. You want to make sure that's clean, because if it fills too much and overflows and this is clogged, it's just going to run out the front here in the back, and you can flood your bike. So, and here I'll show what it looked like before. And as you can tell, it was pretty bad. But like I said, the bowl turned out really good, and the new gasket set fit just right. Had a little issues with this, but you'll see that later on in the video. But overall, it turned out really well. and you want to make sure that you're able to get all the gunk, if there's anything in this air fuel mixtures here. Make sure all that's clean. Make sure this is clean. So you just want to go through it really, really thorough the first time. That way you're not back in it, taking it back off again and going through it. And what I do with all these brass pieces that are caked on with varnish is I'll get a little acetone. I got a little shot glass here, and I put acetone in here, and I'll just drop all the brass pieces in there and let it sit for about 30 minutes. I did the same thing with this, and it was, as you could tell, it was gummed up. And so after sitting for about 30 minutes, I was able to get most of it out, and I used a pick and a little brush and got the rest of it out. So just take your time, take pictures. If you need to get on, look at some forums or get a manual and check all the specs, that'd be beneficial, because some of these actually have more like your older Hondas, like your Z50s and stuff like that. They have metal floats, brass floats, and they're adjustable. Like this one is a metal tab, it's adjustable. So you want to make sure that that is set proper, or you're going to have issues with it not wanting to run, flooding, running too rich. Whereas these newer ones, this is off an 80 model, so they're majority of them are plastic, so they're pretty much set where they need to be set. And I never really had any issue out of these plastic ones so far. But you want to make sure that there's nothing, no gunk or anything, like any fluid built up in here, or there's any holes. So when you clean these, you want to be very careful. You don't want to use any kind of harsh chemicals that will melt that plastic. I'm not going to vapor blast this just because it has this little bronze coating that came from the factory, so I want to try to keep that along with these inspection marks as well. I was able to get the fuel mixture screw off, and it's a little safety cap, because this little tab right here will block it from going either way too far. So it'll want to allow you to pull the screw out. All you have to do is all it is glue. They glue them on. So just just add a little heat, and then get some pliers, and it'll pop right off. After I get everything fine tuned, I'll put that back on. But it was a turn and a quarter out. Like I said in my previous videos, when you first get these carburetors that haven't been touched in a while or whatever, and they say it was running, take that for what you will, but it'll give you a good baseline. So before you pull it, take the fuel screw out to clean it, go all the way until it bottoms out and count your turns, and that's how many turns it was running, or it was running last, supposedly. But so everything's clean. I got my carb kit, and out of this, I'm only going to use the bowl gasket, the intake little O-ring, and the needle. The needle I have isn't bad, but that rubber is it's still somewhat flexible. But I'm going to run, it cleaned up nice, but I'm going to run the new one just to be safe. And you don't have to worry about the float level because it's already preset since these are plastic. I didn't clean that up because I didn't really want to damage it too much. I may clean it up a little bit. These plastic ones hardly go bad unless you can shake them, and if you feel anything in there, then you'll have to replace it because it'll throw your float level off. Okay, everything's ready to go back together. This is where your needle slides into. It comes up through some of them come up from the top, some come from the bottom. But this you'll see it, you'll just push it in lightly. Make sure it's where it needs to be, and so So you can see it where it's right there, and that's it. There's no O-rings or anything like that. Your main jet. On these brass jets, you want to be careful. You don't want to, like this one, like this flathead's smaller. You don't want to use it on this because there's a lot of play, and then you can strip that out. And if you strip it out going in and it's snug, then guess what? It's in there till you extract it out and get another one. So the new needle, they slide. Some just drop in and they ride on the bottom. This one you have to slide in. Like so, when you take these apart, just take a lot of pictures. Then you get your pin. And if it's snug going in one way, just switch it around because they have a different fitment to them. And then so you'll go to the side and move the needle back and forth, make sure it slides freely. And it does. And also, good way to check it, if it's upside down, try to blow in here if you can. And if you don't hear any air going by, then you know it's good. Try it a different way. I'm going to get some fuel line on there and try to blow through that. Okay, that works. And that's the old one. I really want to stay with the original one, but these ones with the rubber tips, they're always finicky. Except they're still flexible. You got a good shot, which it's still okay. But since I got another one, a new one, I'm just gonna run it. Okay, it's good. That's an easy way to test it while it's on the bench. That way you're not putting it all back together, have fuel in it, have fuel line ran, and have to deal with all that if you have to pull it back apart. So, okay, floats in, needles in, jets are in. Replace this O-ring. Of course, it wants to be a pain in the butt. So once I'm able to get it on the bike, then also you can get just a dab a little super glue in each corner and just put it down and hold it and it will stay. Which I might do that. So you don't need a lot. If I can get some super glue, I know if I can get some. Oh, yeah, way too much. Just a little dab. It's still way too much, but get what you can get. Fun part is trying to get that off that part. Trick is try to get it on there without getting any on your fingers. And just hold it. That should be good there. And sometimes you got to do on these bowl gaskets as well. But I kind of already test fitted it, and it was actually seemed like it fit pretty nicely. So you can see, like I said, seemed like they put some glue around it from the factory. And that fits really nice. So, and the gasket style on on gasket style carburetors, you want to, at least what I do, is I heat the base of this brass tube up because this is your overflow. I'll take it out and I'll run this on a flat surface and sand that where it's all flush, to get rid of all the high spots. I said, I mean, this is off of a scooter, two-stroke scooter, 125, but the same basic steps for a Z50, Trail 70, 90, Hondas, Kawasaki, Suzuki's, they're all basic. The mechanics are the same. You got a high and a low, you got a needle, you got a float. So only smaller engines, and this is your choke here. But everything's good there. Line everything up. And on these, I still alternate. I don't put too much tension on. I'll go from side to side when I first put it on. Just lessens your chance of messing something up and warping the bowl. This is your idle. And to kind of preset it, I don't know. I kind of set it a little high. That way when I first started it, it'll idle up and I can idle it down from there. Anywhere from a quarter to eighth sticking out inside this tube here. And then, like I said, when I pulled this out, it was a turn and a quarter out. So I'm gonna go to the bottoms out. And then I just do half turns. So find your spot. Half, one, and a quarter. I wasn't sure because there could have been some gunk in there, but I felt good about a quarter turnout. So it doesn't matter on these whether it's 50cc to 125, 250, two-stroke, four-stroke. For the most part, the concept is the same. You know, you want to count how many turns this is out by going in first. If you don't know, and if you still need to know, just get on some forums or get online and try to find some manuals. This is the first time I'm working on this particular bike, so. But and when you get into your diaphragm style carburetors, I mean, minus the top here, it's still the same. You get a high and a low and a float and all that stuff. It's all the same stuff. Just taking your time. But back to this slide. This part, the way I remember it, is this little cutout here. That always faces out. Where the air goes in, that's where that goes. And there's a little tab in there that it shouldn't allow you to go any other way but that way. So, and the slide turned out pretty good. There's still a little stain from varnish, but the needle looks good and everything like that. It's not worn out because it's only got 2,300 miles on it. And then once I get it set where I want, I'll go back and put some super glue in here and then glue that back on. Or it's kind of a tight fit, I may just tap it back on. So, because if you need to work on it in the future, it's easier just to have it off. But if you want to keep it all original, then put that back on. And that's it. It's how you rebuild a small Honda small engine carburetor. Even on your mowers, they're virtually the same. There's little differences, but they're going to have jets. They're going to have floats, unless you go to your older Briggs that have the carburetors that are mounted to the tank. Then there's going to be no float. There's not going to be. It's more of a vacuum style. So, but this on these little mini bikes, let's just say mini bikes, whether it's even just a stock Predator carburetor, it's still going to have a jet. It's still going to have a emulsion tube. It's still going to have a float and a needle. It's still going to have all that stuff. So on these, just take your time, take plenty of pictures, and there's hundreds of people that's been through any carburetor that you've probably worked on. So just get online and check it out. But this is what I do. I just go through the basic little steps, and I've had good success with it. So I just want to share that. If y'all have any questions, just comment and I'll answer the best I can. Thanks for watching.